Hi friends, today we will be discussing a purely capacitive circuit, and in this circuit we are also going to analyze AC current flow, voltage and current flow in the voltage and current flow in the case of a purely capacitive circuit. So I'll like to make you remind what we are going to analyze. We will be analyzing what is the voltage across the capacitor and what is the current through the capacitor when a pure sinusoidal voltage is applied. Then we will be analyzing, is there any phase difference, whether they are in phase, they are out of phase, they are lagging or leading, anything. So let us analyze the circuit. There is a capacitor and a pure sinusoidal waveform is given across that capacitor. The voltage, sinusoidal voltage which is there is Vm sin omega t, and the voltage across the capacitor represented as Vc, and the current through the capacitor is represented as Ic. So uh, let us analyze each of these, that is the voltage and the current. So what will be the voltage across the capacitor? It will be same as the supply voltage, that is Vm sin omega t. Why? Because this is the only voltage which is coming across the capacitor. There is no other elements in between. So the voltage across the capacitor can be represented as Vm sin omega t. Now next we have to analyze the current through the capacitor. Then only we can compare. So we have studied that the charge in a capacitor Q is equal to C into V, and we know that the current is the rate of flow of charge. So I is equal to dq by dt. Instead of q you can represent as cv. C being a constant, it is taken outside. Okay. So I is equal to c into dv by dt. Now instead of this voltage, what is the voltage across the capacitor now? It is the sinusoidal voltage Vm sin omega t. So instead of V, we are going to represent as Vm sin omega t. Then your equation becomes like this. That is, the current is equal to c into d by dt of Vm sin omega t. Why did we come through this equation? Why? Because we needed the current value through the capacitor. Okay. Now current I is equal to C into Vm d sin omega t divided by dt. I is equal to C omega Vm cos omega t. That means we are taking the differential. So it is differentiated with respect to dt. That is why this omega is coming. Okay. Now cos omega t can be written as sin of omega t plus pi by 2. Why we are representing everything in sinusoidal waveform is then only we can compare their phase values. Both should be represented in sinusoidal waveform, then only we can compare their phase values. Okay. So that is why we are converting this cos everything into sine. I is equal to Im sin omega t plus pi by 2, where Im is equal to Vm divided by, what is the value here? C omega. So instead of Vm into C omega, we are representing as Im. Or we can say Vm divided by 1 by C omega is represented as Im. So Im is equal to Vm divided by 1 by C omega, and this term becomes the opposition for this pure capacitive circuit. So the impedance value in this case Z is equal to the impedance value. This one is the impedance value. It is represented as capacitive reactance Xc, and the value is Xc is equal to 1 divided by C omega is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc. Okay. Now a purely capacitive circuit. In a purely capacitive circuit, what is the voltage and the current waveform? So we got already the equations. V is equal to Vm sin omega t and I is equal to, sorry, it is not IL, it is IC. IC is equal to Im sin omega t plus pi by 2. How can we represent it in the waveform? Here you can see the voltage waveform. Okay. It is starting from its 0 position. Why? Because its phase value is 0. Whereas the current has already started before, how much before? Pi by 2 degrees before the current reached, voltage reached its 0 position. So the waveform for current will be like this. Okay. Now phi is equal to, so what is the phase difference between them? We can say it is plus pi by 2. Now how can we represent it in the phasor diagram? Here you can see voltage is starting from its 0 axis, so it should be represented on the 0 axis. What about the current? Current is ahead of the voltage, 90 degrees ahead, isn't it? So we can represent it on the 90 degree axis, that is the pi by 2 axis. We can represent it on the pi by 2 axis 90 degrees ahead. It is rotating, both of them are rotating in a counterclockwise direction, that you have to assume. Okay. Not assume, sorry, you have to imagine that both of them are rotating in a counterclockwise direction together. Okay. In a pure resistive circuit, the current is out of phase with the voltage, that is the current leads the voltage by pi by 2 radians. Now let us analyze what is the animation. Let's go through an animation video. see, here you can see an animation video. The voltage and current both are represented here. So this is the voltage and this one is the current. So current is moving ahead. Now I am just reducing the frequency so that it becomes some more easier for visibility. See the voltage. So this is the voltage waveform phasor, and this one is the current phasor. Okay, so the current phasor is actually moving ahead, pi by 2 ahead of the voltage. Okay, now let us again analyze what is the power in the circuit. So power is, first we have to analyze the instantaneous power. Instantaneous power is equal to voltage into instantaneous voltage into instantaneous current, Vm sin omega t into Im sin omega t plus pi by 2 or 90 degree. Multiplying both, instead of sin omega t plus pi by 2 we can represent as cos omega t. So by multiplying both you will be obtaining the equation like this, multiplying 2 and dividing by 2, your expression becomes like this. So this becomes the instantaneous power value. Now let us find out what will be the average power. Average power will be taking the average power is equal to, by taking the average of the power curve, that is still 2 pi small letter p d omega t whole divided by 2 pi. So first you should analyze what is the power that we have already, instantaneous power we have already found out. Now how are we taking this average power? Average power can be only taken for this power curve. So first we have to analyze how will be the power curve. Just as in the case of purely inductive circuit, in the purely capacitive circuit also, while taking till here you can see that both values are positive. That means the green curve, green is the current curve, red is the voltage curve. Multiplying both positive and positive you will be getting a positive value. So power is represented by a positive blue line. Okay, similarly till here, if you are analyzing till here, you can see that the voltage and current both are, one is positive, the other one is negative. Sorry, this current voltage is positive, negative, and the current is positive. So here you can see when multiplying both you will be getting a negative value and your curve will be like the blue line. So your power curve will be like the blue curve. Now we have to find the average till here, average till 2 pi, average of this one. Just by looking at the graph itself it is clear that the average value will be 0. Okay, but we have to analyze mathematically. So let us mathematically analyze it. Power average is equal to integral 0 to 2 pi. What is this term? Is the instantaneous value of powers, that is small letter p. Okay, substituting it you will be obtaining the equation like this, and giving the limits you will be getting the equation like this, and we can find the average power as 0. So the average power for a purely capacitive circuit also is 0, just like that of a case of a inductive circuit. So the power factor cos phi is equal to cos of pi by 2. That means the power factor is cosine of the angle between phase difference between voltage and current. The phase value is pi by 2. So cos of pi by 2 equal to 0. So for a purely capacitive circuit, power is also 0 and power factor is also 0. Now just let us analyze the whole circuit, summarize it. So for the capacitor, the impedance value is XC. So the impedance value is XC, and the current is leading the voltage by an angle 90 degree, and the phase value, that is a phase difference between voltage and current, is pi by 2. The power factor becomes 0 because cos of pi by 2 is 0, and the power value will be 0. So that's all for today. Hope you understood everything. Thank you very much.